Hey, Gail, what's up?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, I am currently going through a divorce, and he's all I've known since I was 14 years old. I'm currently 42.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes,
This is the better part of
and
your life.
most, yeah. Like I said, it's all I've known.
Oh, man.
And he comes in, and he says he's unhappy, has been, and wants a divorce. And now I'm like, how do I find myself again and know my worth after 24 years that we've been married and being belittled and intimidated?
Mm.
I have disability issues. That's caused a lot of problems. I didn't ask for it. It was accidents at work, and I'm not able to do the things I used to do physically, sexually, everything. And now it's just, I don't feel like I'm worth anything.
Yeah. How much of that, well, number one, I just hate this for you. I'm sorry. Can I tell you I'm sorry about two things? I'm sorry that you're a ride or die for this many years, just waltzed in here and said, I'm out after this long. And my guess is, your home hasn't been a place for you in decades, has it?
No,
No.
just walking on eggshells.
That's right. And I have a rule. I don't ever get into diagnostics and stuff on this show, but I want to tell you there's increasingly more and more and more literature coming out, more and more conversations in the mental health space and the medical space about how over time a body in unsafe, unhealed environments, it's called psychosomatic. It comes out in back pain and knee pain and wrist pain and shoulder pain and sexual dysfunction. It comes out in all these things that give somebody further ammo to say, look at you, you're broken. But it's really the body just trying to stay safe in a very unsafe place.
And
And
that
if,
is another thing, too. He never wants to touch me, hold my hand, kiss me just because he wanted to, unless he wanted sexual things or anything.
I'm sorry.
And I'm like, what? That makes me feel used.
Oh, it has. And it's been that way since you were a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you something crazy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this isn't crazy. You've got worth and you got value, okay? There's just a period at the end of that sentence. But it's kind of like confidence. It's hard to be confident about something without actually seeing it in front of me, without experiencing it, okay? And so worth is this thing that's innate, but when someone's been stomping on it for most of your life, and not only stomping on it, but then blaming you for how you feel, or stomping on it and blaming you that they stomped on you, they had to, or they did because of you. Oh, man. It's hard to experience that worth. It's hard to trust that you've got value, right? And so I tell you all that to tell you, my gut tells me that if somebody is so low, somebody is so small, they'd walk in and tell their wife of this many years, I'm quitting on you. No explanation, no reason, just bye. Not happy. See ya. That the thing you should focus on is survival. And as you begin to gain strength and confidence because nobody's stomping on you anymore, you're going to find yourself standing a centimeter taller, then another centimeter taller, and a little bit taller. And then you're going to find the clouds start to lift. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the only water you've ever drank has had a little bit of poison in it. And so when you go drink clean water, it's going to taste different. It's going to kind of jar you for a minute. And then a year from now, he's going to pop off and say something, and you're going to realize I ain't drinking that water anymore. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just don't want to be alone the rest of my life.
I know.
I want to find someone who actually loves me for me,
I know.
disabilities and all.
I promise you that person's out there, but it's going to be a reflection. You're going to have to learn to love you, disabilities and all, too. I'll even go as far to say you're going to have to learn to love yourself, disability and all first, from the inside out. And you don't love yourself.
I didn't ask to be this way.
I know. What disabilities are you talking about? Give me an example of a few. What are the things that make you think you're unlovable?
Well, it started with when I was 24. I was a home health nurse, and I had a patient fall and almost break my back, and I've had 3-4 major surgeries, and now it's fused. And when I messed my back up, it started messing with my knees. So I've had 2 knee replacements and getting ready to fix the last one. And I just can't, bend. I can't, stoop. I can't sexual position. And it's just, I'm limited. My body makes a choice for me whether I'm able to do something every day or not.
Okay. So we've got some limited physiology, right?
Yes.
Is that all you are?
Seems to be.
No, I'm not. I don't care what seems to be. I'm asking you. As a registered nurse, someone who has learned how to love and honor and take care of people in their own homes over the years, are you reduced to a series of positions you can or cannot get into? You tell me.
No.
That's right. And to hell with whoever has made you believe that you are reduced to that. Because when it comes to sexuality, there's all kinds of creative mayhem y'all can get into. And when it comes to movement, and when it comes to mobility, when it comes to, there's all kinds of things. All kinds of things that y'all can get into, that you can get into. But in your world, it's not even worth getting up. Because he's made it clear that you don't have that value anymore, right?
Yeah.
I want you to start imagining and gently creating a life worth getting out of the chair for. Because then it's worth it to go to physical therapy. And then it's worth it to go get counseling. And then it's worth it to meet somebody for coffee. And the first thing out of your mouth isn't what you can't or what you aren't, but look who I am. Do you get it?
Yes.
For so long, you've been told you're the worst thing that ever happened to you, that you're the least of you. And I just reject it. But I also get that that's the air you've been breathing, and it's hard to see it right now because it's in the smoke and fog. When is your divorce final?
Well, see, that's the thing. He was so anxious for me to get out of his life. He was done. He moved out and says he's filed. I've still yet to receive anything.
Hey, he didn't file. He's got somebody on the side, doesn't he?
Not that I know of, but who's to say?
What's this panic to get out?
Exactly.
If he's filed, you would have had somebody serve you already.
Exactly.
He's no more filed on you.
No, I've asked, and he's like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to call.
Whatever. Get the name of the attorney and say, go ahead, you'll call. And ask where your papers are. Call his bluff. Because that's just yet another control tactic. He's dragging you around by your heart. I don't like it.
Me either.
I know. You're like, I don't care about you. It's me. I know. I totally get it. You have kids?
I've accepted it. It's done. I'm just wanting it to be done. Yes.
How old?
They're adults. The oldest is 22. The youngest is 20.
So they've been living with this.
Live at home.
They still living with this crap their whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter has severe anxiety because of it. And he sees stuff like that as If he doesn't have things, nobody else should. If he can tolerate things, everybody else should be able to.
Yeah,
What he says is the gospel.
He's a child. You know who has that exact same mindset? My 8-year-old. If she can't have something with peanuts in it because she has an allergy, then my son can't have something. Like, that's just, it's an 8-year-old. It's developmentally appropriate, but not for a 42-year-old. But here's the thing, Gail. You've known this forever. And he said he's divorcing you. Let's see the paper. Pony up, big boy. And I want you to worry less about how do I instantly backfill 30 years of being told I don't have value. I don't want you to worry about 30 years or 20 years or 15 years or 5 years of I can't. What I want you to look forward to is, all right, all I've ever known is this guy that has treated me this way. I'm going to begin to practice living a life where I've got value and meaning beyond some sexual positions I can or can't get into and not being able to play tennis because I have my back fused together and I have 2 knee replacements. And so you're going to have to decide, is that playing cards? Is that getting together with a group of girlfriends twice a week? Is that you and your daughters going out to do stuff? Your daughter with extreme anxiety, if you look at her and say, you know what? We're going to go figure this thing out. We're going to write down the 10 things you're anxious about, and you and me, just ride or die. We're going to head right into each one of them, gently and slowly. You in? Oh, Mama, I can't do that. I believe in you, and I believe I can too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I can tell you is you're not going to think your way through this. It's going to have to be something you live and experience. And you're not going to be able to do it by yourself. And so I'm going to ask you to get group of a few girlfriends that will do this with you. And right now the limbo is drowning you. So I want you to call again and ask for the papers. And by the way, if he's left, he's not welcome back in the house. He left. He moved out. And if he's still on the deed, then you need to start working through how we're going to sell this house and split this thing up. If he's trying to be all tough and big boy and I'm doing this and you don't have any value, blah, 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 then cool, game on. I got to go live my life. And I'm tired of treading water, and every time I try to pull myself up, there's your boot right there, push me back under. I'm not doing that anymore. And if he's, I don't know where those papers are, then what's the name of your attorney? I'm gonna call your attorney. I'm gonna call him right now because I got to get this thing, we got to get going. Every day of my life, every minute of my life ticking away, and I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go live a reckless, fun, exciting, adventurous life. I'm done living a reduced life. I hate this for you, Gail. I hate you've been having to live like this for so long, and part of me is so excited for Gail Part 2. Here's what happens when Gail's fully unleashed. And no, you're not going to be able to go frolicking through a field, and probably with your back and your knees, you're not going to be able to hike the Grand Canyon. You're right. You didn't ask for this, and here it is. But you could still have somebody who will ride or die and love you to the end of time. You still have somebody that will laugh and play and be goofy, and you can still go on trips. And is it going to be more inconvenient? Yes. When they say, is anybody in a wheelchair getting off this plane? You're going to have to raise your hand and say, yes, I do. Great. Then we're going on to the next. And I'm telling you what, my buddy who's a paraplegic, one of my oldest friends on planet Earth, when me and him and his brother and one of our other closest ride or die friends, and all 4 of us went to an old 80s metal concert reunion, and we sang our lungs out. You can still go make it happen. You just have to decide, and the people around you have to decide you're not the worst, least thing. You're Gail from Knoxville, Tennessee, worthy of a life of adventure and fun. And whatever we're anxious about, we're going right through the middle of it because we can. Thank you so much for the call, sister. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of Building a Non-Anxious Life. Actually, I'm going to send you 2 copies, one for you and one for your daughter. I want you to live that book, and I want you all to head right through it.